Hello, dear listener. Today I want to take you on a powerful journey. It's a story about a boy who started with nothing but a dream so strong, so full of passion, that it shook the world. You probably know his name, Michael Jackson. But behind the fame, the lights and the music, there is a story of struggle, pain, hope, and unbelievable success. In this story, you will learn not only about his music, but about his heart, about his fear, his strength, his endless will to keep going when everyone told him to stop. So get comfortable. Close your eyes if you want, and listen carefully, because this is not just a story about music. It's a story about believing in yourself when no one else does. Let's start from the very beginning, in a small house on a quiet street where the king of pop was just a little boy with a big dream. Part 1. The Little Star, from Gary, Indiana. Michael Joseph Jackson was born on August 29, 1958, in a small city called Gary, Indiana, in the United States. He was the 8th child in a big family. There were 10 kids, 5 boys and 3 girls. They all lived in a tiny house with just 2 bedrooms. Life was hard, money was short, but there was something magical in that house, something musical. Michael's father, Joseph, worked in a steel factory. He was strict and tough. He wanted his children to have a better life, and he believed music could be the way. Joseph had a small band with his older sons. They played music in the evenings and on weekends. Little Michael watched his brothers sing and dance. He was only 5, but his feet moved with the rhythm. His heart beat to the sound of the drums. His voice was soft, but strong. When he sang, people stopped to listen. One day, Joseph noticed that Michael had something special, something rare. He was not just a little boy. He was a performer, a shining star in a small body. By the time Michael was 6, he joined the family group, the Jackson 5. He became the lead singer. His voice had emotion far beyond his age. When he sang, it was like magic. But life was not easy. Michael practiced every day for hours. He missed out on playing with friends. His father pushed him hard, sometimes too hard. But Michael kept going. Even as a child, he had a fire inside him, a dream to be the best. Part 2. The Beginning of a Superstar, the Jackson 5 Era. When Michael was only 10 years old, something amazing happened. The Jackson 5 got a big opportunity. They were invited to audition for Motown Records, one of the most famous music companies in America. Motown was the home of stars like Stevie Wonder and Diana Ross. Michael walked into the room with his brothers. He was small, shy, and wearing a big smile. But when he started to sing, everyone went silent. His voice was powerful. His moves were full of life. Berry Gordy, the head of Motown, was shocked. He saw something rare, a child with the talent of a grown superstar. Very soon, the Jackson 5 signed with Motown. Michael was only 11 years old, but his life had already changed forever. Their first song, I Want You Back, became a #1 hit. Then came ABC, The Love You Save, and I'll Be There. Each song was a success. Michael danced and sang on television. He smiled for cameras. The world was watching, but behind the smile there was pressure. Fame came fast. Michael had no normal childhood. While other kids were playing outside, he was performing on stage, traveling, recording. Sometimes he felt lonely. Sometimes he was scared. But he kept going. Why? Because he loved music. and because deep inside he believed he was born to do something great. Part 3. Going Solo, A New Dream. As Michael grew older, he wanted to do more than just sing with his brothers. He had ideas. He had visions. He wanted to create something new, something that the world had never seen before. At the age of 20, he started his solo career. His first solo album with Epic Records was Off the Wall in 1979. It was a mix of pop, soul, and disco. People loved it. The album sold millions. Songs like Don't Stop Till You Get Enough and Rock With You made people dance all over the world. But for Michael, that was only the beginning. He wanted more. He wanted to create history. He said to himself, I want to be the best. I want to be bigger than anyone has ever been. Not for the fame, but to give people something they will never forget. He was not just a singer anymore. He was a creator, an artist, a dreamer with a mission. Then, in 1982, everything changed. Part 4. Thriller, Changing the World. In 1982, Michael released the album Thriller. No one could imagine what would happen next. The album was a masterpiece. It had everything: great music, powerful emotions, and perfect rhythm. Every song was special. Beat It, Billie Jean, Thriller. The world had never seen anything like it. The Thriller music video became a short film. Michael danced with zombies and showed the world that music videos could be art. It was more than just music. It was a revolution. The album broke all records. It became the best-selling album of all time. Michael Jackson was now not just famous, he was a global legend. He created the moonwalk. He wore a white glove. He made the world watch. And yet, he never stopped working, never stopped dreaming. Even at the top, he still pushed himself higher. Part 5. The Man in the Mirror, Fame, Pressure, and Purpose. In the mid-1980s, Michael was at the top of the world, but with great fame came great pressure. Every move he made was in the spotlight. Every word he said was news. People loved him, but they also judged him. Michael felt lonely sometimes. He was surrounded by people, but not always by true friends. Still, he kept giving his heart to his music. In 1987, he released Bad, another incredible album. Songs like Smooth Criminal, The Way You Make Me Feel, and Man in the Mirror showed a new side of Michael. He was not just singing, he was asking the world to change. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make a change. That line from Man in the Mirror became a message of hope. Michael wanted to use his fame to help others. He donated millions to children's hospitals, charities, and schools. He visited sick kids around the world. He spoke about peace, love, and healing, but at the same time, he struggled. Rumors followed him, lies were told, people attacked his looks, his voice, his life. He became more private, more careful, more quiet. Still, he never stopped performing, never stopped creating, because music was his soul, his safe place. Part 6. Dangerous and Invincible, Art Through Pain. In 1991, Michael released another powerful album, Dangerous. This album was different. It was deep, emotional, darker. Songs like Black or White, Heal the World, and Will You Be There spoke of unity, love, and pain. He sang about racism, war, the environment, and loneliness. He told the world, we are all one. We must care for each other. Michael's shows became bigger, bolder. He performed in front of hundreds of thousands. People cried when they saw him. They danced. They felt hope. But behind the stage, Michael still battled with stress, media pressure, and his own past. He was tired. The world watched his every move. He was human, but people saw him as magic, and that was not always easy. In 1995, he released History, an album and a reflection of his life. It was part music, part message. He wanted people to know the truth, that he was a fighter, that he had a voice, that he would not give up, and he didn't. Part 7. Trials and Tribulations, Holding On to the Dream. The 2000s were hard years for Michael. False accusations hurt his name. The media painted a picture of him that was far from the truth. He went through court cases, stress, and deep sadness. But many people still believed in him. Fans stood outside the court holding signs. "We love you, Michael. You are not alone." Michael stayed strong. He said, "Lies run sprints, but the truth runs marathons." He was proven innocent, but the pain remained. His health got weaker. He became more reclusive. But his love for music and for people never disappeared. In 2009, he planned a big comeback tour called This Is It. Fans all over the world were excited. Tickets sold out in minutes. Michael was ready. He wanted to give his fans one last gift. But fate had a different plan. On June 25, 2009, the world stopped. Michael Jackson passed away at the age of 50. People cried in every country, streets filled with fans. His music played everywhere. The world lost a star, a king, a child with a dream who gave everything he had. Part 8. From Nothing to Everything, The Power of Belief. Michael Jackson was not born a king. He was born in a small house in a poor neighborhood with no special advantages. He had a dream, and that dream was bigger than fear, bigger than pain, bigger than the world. He was often misunderstood, criticized, hurt, but he never gave up. He said once, "The greatest education in the world is watching the masters at work." And he learned. Every single day, he studied music, he studied people, he studied the heart. As a child, he worked harder than many adults. As a teenager, he faced the world's eyes. As a man, he gave more than most ever do. He said, "To give someone a piece of your heart is worth more than all the wealth in the world." And that's what he did, again and again. When people said he was too strange, he kept dancing. When the media tried to destroy him, he kept singing. When life pushed him down, he stood back up. Because greatness is not about being perfect. It's about standing tall in the storm. It's about rising when others fall. It's about love, passion, and never giving up. Part 9. Lessons from the King of Pop. What can we learn from Michael Jackson? Believe in your dream, even if no one else does. Work hard, even when you're tired. Create beauty, even in pain. Stay kind, even when others are cruel. Keep going, even when the road is dark. Michael once said, "I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways." That's where success begins. Inside, with you, with your choice to believe. Final words. You are not alone. Dear listener, thank you for staying with me on this journey. Michael Jackson's story is not just about music. It's about power. The power of one heart, one voice, one dream. It's about you too. Because maybe you also have a dream. Maybe you feel too small, too different, too late. But let me remind you, Michael started with nothing. He was just a boy in Gary, Indiana, and he became the most famous artist the world has ever known, not by luck, but by passion, work, vision, and love. So today, take a step, start something, dance, write, learn, teach, do it with heart. And when it gets hard, remember this story. Remember that you are not alone. Thank you for listening to this story. I hope it touched your heart, and I hope it inspired you. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, share this video, and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us bring more stories like this, stories that not only teach you English, but help you grow inside. And tell me in the comments, what did Michael's story teach you today? Until next time, keep dreaming, keep learning, and never stop believing in yourself.